So we've just seen the launch of the brand new Titleist GTS lineup. So in this video, I'm going to test the TSR3 against the GT3 against the brand new GTS3. The last three generations of Titleist drivers going head to head in this video. Is the latest, the greatest? We're going to find out. Okay, so I personally play at the moment the TSR3, which is a couple of generations ago now, purely because I just really like it. I didn't really want to change away from it. So TSR3, 9 degree, we're going to hit it. I'm going to use the same shaft in all three of these drivers to keep the comparison as equal as we can. Now the GT3 head, I only have a 10 degree head, so I'm going to loft that down to 9.25 through the Sure Fit neck sleeve to get as close to 9 as I possibly can. And obviously I've got the GTS3 in a 9 degree as well. We're going to start off with TSR3, we'll move in the GT and then into the GTS. Right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to start off TSR3. This is my beloved driver. I really gravitate back to this. I have, as I mentioned, got the GT. They did fit me at the time into a 10 degree head, which I wasn't quite sure on, and I just went back to my TSR purely because of the loft scenario, to be honest. We've got the track at the back. I just have the weight pretty much in the centre. There's nothing at the front of this particular head. That has obviously changed as you work into the GT and then obviously again into the GTS. Nice compact look as we see in the three models. That's a nice opening shot. So the big things I really like about the TSR3 is just really how it sits, the shape of the head and the sound and the feel. I love everything about it, which is why I see gravitating towards it. And then I do really like the ball flight that I see with it as well. I don't tinker around really with the neck setting, I just have it set at A1, 9 degree. I just have that weight pretty neutral in the back. Okay, a little bit low on the face, that will spin up more, I am guessing. It looks a little bit staller on its flight. Sometimes a shot I get. Yeah, so 3,400 on that spin. That's more solid. Do love the flight on it. Sound, feel, fantastic, really nailed it. I feel like Titleist, and I think they've kept that through the generations, to be honest. Better numbers there, spinning around that 2.7, 272 carry. But as we're going to look at it as an average of all multiple shots. So I'm going to hit more shots with this. I'm not going to show them all on camera, and then we'll move into the GT3. Okay, so there's some hit with the TSR3. So I've now moved into the GT3. As I mentioned, this is a 10 degree head. I know it's not quite perfect, but I've used the neck sleeve, put it in D1, which has dropped the loft, kept the line the same, but dropped the loft by 0.75. So I've got this now down to 9.25. Obviously what we see different than the GT is we've got that track now has moved from the back of the TSR now into the front and movable around. Again, I've got this set as neutral, weight in the center, no weight at the back. GT there now sits down. It just looks a slightly bigger profile than the TSR. TSR looks quite squat. This just looks like a little bit of a slightly bigger profile down there, but again, sits great behind it with that GT logo in. I've got the same shaft that I've just moved over that we've just hit in the TSR. Little bit of a different sound there. The TSR is definitely a little bit more muted on the sound, which I really like. That's just got a little bit more of a livelier sound to it, but still sounds incredible. We're probably going to see that sound change, to be honest, because the TSR is a full titanium head, no carbon or thermoform material, which is what was introduced for the first time in the GT lineup. Again, we're going to see that in the GTS, but more of it. So the crown is obviously lighter. That helps to distribute weight. Just gives it a slightly different on the sound of it. Okay, so very sort of similar shape to what we've just seen. A little bit more toe, smooth up at that left fractionally. Spin down because that toe strike, 2,200. That's a better strike, better launch. Spin to just short 270 carry, just short 110 club head speed. Okay, again, just going to hit a couple more and then we'll move into the GTS3. Okay, so there's 5 shots hit with the GT3. Bit of a tighter dispersion, just slightly up that left-hand side, but all pretty much in play. So let's move on to the brand new GTS3. So back into a 9 degree head, got this set A1 at 9 degree. Again, on the bottom of the golf club here, we can see that we've got a front track like we saw in the GT3 GT3, movable from heel to toe. I've obviously got that set in that neutral position at the front. It's an 8-gram weight. But now we've got a weight at the back. We didn't see that in the GT3 version, so 5-gram weight there. The thermal form that we saw come into the GT as a crown only has now gone all the way around the head. So crown into the sides as well as the sole of the golf club. That saved much more weight, which is probably where this now 5-gram weight comes at the back. Obviously, we can add more weight at the back through fitting. We can add more weight at the front and vice versa. So very customizable in that respect. Split mass technology is a huge talking point. You can check my full review where I hit the GTS 3, 4 and 2 in that video, and some really interesting results there as well. So let's do a little comparison of the looks between the 3 generations, TSR3, GT3, GTS3. We can see a little subtle changing of shape, and I mean, when I say subtle, it is quite subtle. TSR just looks a little bit more sort of compact in that head positioning behind the golf ball. GT and GTS look very, very similar. Preference, I think they all sit great, to be honest. Okay, just a little bit up the right. That was a little bit high on the face. Yeah, so see, just pulls that spin down a fraction there at 2300. Not too low by any means, but not a bad number if you're going to make that miss. Good carry there, 278 straight away, 111.2 club head. That's another good straight hit on that one. Touch lower in the face, but again, the spin hasn't climbed from that low hit, 272, nearly 112 club head speed. And that just takes me to the point where another big talking point, as well as that split mass technology of the GTS3, is aerodynamics. They're starting to get this a little bit quicker through the air, more so in the GTS2, but you're still seeing it in the GTS3 as well. So moving that club a little bit quicker, creating that stability, forgiveness, but on that control of ball flight is what the 3 model is all about. Oh, solid. Really solid hit. Again, nice club head speed, good ball speed, launch, really like. Spin's great, 276. Starting to see a little bit more carry. That felt fantastic off the club face. Okay, so there's the last 3 generations of Titleist drivers hit against each other with the same shaft, pretty much the same loft. Let's go and check the differences and see if the latest is potentially the greatest. And then we look at the averages on the shots here. So we can see club head speeds increase as we've gone through. Now, bear in mind, I did warm up fully, so I was raring to go with a TRS driver, and that typically is around my number, to be honest, with that, about under that 110 mark. GT we saw just move a little bit quicker, and again, a little bit more with the GTS, maybe a little bit more of that aerodynamics as they've gone through those models. Ball speed, you can see, just translates into a little bit that gain of ball speed, edging up to that 1.634 with the GTS. Launch was good on both. Maybe the GT just came out a little bit lower, but spin pretty similar. My TRS spun a little bit higher. I did have a little bit of a low, slightly low heely one there, which did spin it up a little bit, just jumped the averages up, but very sort of similar area. But you can see a difference of carry number there with that bit of speed. Launched a decent sort of spin number, a little bit of a tighter spin number from lowest to highest in the dispersion that we can sort of see there, so a bit more consistent on that front, and that gave me a carry distance of 277, which is pretty good for me, and a good smash on all of those as well. So interesting set of numbers there, and I think, you know, looking from a TSR side of things then into the GTS3, I think there's a considerable difference there to look at and change. Would you change from the GT into the GTS? It's got to be quite subtle into it on that front, but there is a little bit of a gain there. The other one you just want to maybe put in the mix as well, which did surprise me, and interestingly, this could well go in the bag for me, is the GTS2. That's a little bit of a dark horse that's going to open up for more players, I would say. Speed with stability. It's also one to put in the mix as well. So appreciate watching the video as always, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.